If you love to be shocked, Netflix's brand new Cherry Flavor is the perfect show for you. A gruesome and twisted story about lust and revenge. The imagery in brand new Cherry Flavor is reminiscent of some of the most disturbing films of all time. With a unique storyline and some truly wicked characters, this series is sure to keep you wanting more, even when you feel like you have to look away. If you're wondering if there will be a season 2 of brand new Cherry Flavor, stick around to find out what we know so far. First up, is this Netflix's most disturbing series yet? The body horror genre emerged in literature with Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. It was popularized in the 1980s with films like The Fly and The Blob. Brand new Cherry Flavor is a limited series that is heavily inspired by body horror icons such as Cronenberg and Clive Barker. The neo-noir horror drama made its debut on Netflix in the summer of 2021. The grotesque imagery and themes of revenge make brand new Cherry Flavor a wild ride from start to finish. It's based on the 1996 novel by Todd Grimson, an author who is known to write about very taboo subjects. The series stars Rosa Salazar as the main character, Lisa Nova, an aspiring filmmaker who attempts to navigate the treacherous terrain of 1990s Hollywood. She finds herself having to ward off the advances of predatory directors while also dabbling in the occult. So who is Todd Grimson? People have very polarized opinions on Todd Grimson's books. They can be described as funny, edgy, gratuitous, and absurd. Violence and sexuality are prominent throughout all of his work. He spent his early years working in hospitals, first in the intensive care unit and then in the emergency room. Grimson saw firsthand the results of accidents and violent crime daily. He found this experience to be more educational than anything. Shortly after making his writing debut, he was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, which eventually caused him to be plagued with horrific dreams. These dreams inspired much of the content in the novel Brand New Cherry Flavor. The book received critical acclaim in the US and Europe. Grimson was named the greatest horror writer you never read by Damian Walter of The Guardian. He released his urban vampire novel Stainless that same year. While some of the themes that define his novels were not exactly mainstream at the time, it's understandable why they have become so hard to find today. First edition copies of Brand New Cherry Flavor are currently going for over $1,000, so it might be a good idea to keep an eye out for it at your local thrift shop. Is there going to be a season 2? The content in season 1 of Brand New Cherry Flavor is just a fraction of what can be found in the book. Despite there being tons more that can be done with the series, it was never intended to go further. Advertised as a limited series, creator Nick Antosca has been known to thrive when given a short window of time to work with. His Emmy award-winning series The Act is a prime example of this. The Act is based on real events. Brand New Cherry Flavor, which Antosca portrayed perfectly despite there only being a single season. He was also the executive producer of Sci-Fi's Channel Zero, which is a collection of 4 separate stories told over 4 seasons. Despite the high ratings and overall success of Brand New Cherry Flavor, we probably won't be getting a season 2. Rosa Salazar and Catherine Keener have both expressed the love they have for their respective roles, so it's likely more than just the fans who are disappointed by this. Although there is still reason to have hope. The White Lotus was originally released as a limited series on HBO in July 2021. It became massively successful and was the most watched show on HBO Max before season 2 of Euphoria broke the record. Thanks to overwhelmingly positive reviews, The White Lotus was just confirmed to be scheduled for a second season. Who knows what could happen? What is the show about? Brand New Cherry Flavor centers around Lisa Nova, a filmmaker who decides to move to Los Angeles to chase her dreams. She's a beautiful young woman who attracts attention for her good looks as well as her talent. She catches the eye of sleazy director Lou Burke, played by Eric Lang. He is well known and respected in the industry, and she sees this as an opportunity to break out. He eventually shows his true intentions and attempts to coerce Lisa into having a sexual relationship with him. Despite his promises to turn her short film Lucy's Eye into a full-length full-length movie, she deflects his proposition and becomes consumed with the need for revenge. Her vengeful mission leads her to a magician named Boro, who is portrayed by Catherine Keener. Boro helps Lisa put a curse on Lou Burke, but unfortunately, it comes with an array of nasty side effects. As the series progresses, we come to learn that Boro is an ancient spirit that has been body hopping for nearly 1,000 years. Who is starring in brand new cherry flavor? Rosa Salazar is a Canadian-American actress of Peruvian heritage. She's been acting in television shows since 2011, appearing on NBC's Parenthood as well as American Horror Story that same year. Salazar made her directorial debut in 2016 with her original short film, Good Crazy. It was nominated for the Sundance Film Festival Short Film Grand Jury Prize. Her breakthrough cinema role was as the title character in Alita: Battle Angel, a cyberpunk motion capture film written and directed by James Cameron. The 2019 film is based on the 1990s manga by Japanese artist Yukito Kishiro, who's been drawing manga since the age of 17. Salazar stars alongside Catherine Keener, who's easily recognized for her performance in The 40-Year-Old Virgin. Keener is a skilled actress who's typically cast in somber, melancholic roles. She's worked on numerous independent films, which tend to suit her energy and style better than mainstream productions. She's been described as one of the most interesting performers in the game and has received multiple Academy Awards and Emmy nominations. How has it been received? Brand new cherry flavor is definitely not for everyone. Even those who can stomach the grislier details may find themselves confused by the sheer strangeness of the story. It appears at first glance to be pretty straightforward, if not visually distressing. There are some truly David Lynch-esque moments that have the audiences questioning their entire existence. The plot sometimes strays from the main storyline, which can make things even more bewildering, but adds to the world-building aspect. For those who have read the book, it was almost instantly obvious that the television series was quite different from the original novel. This is not necessarily a bad thing. While Todd Grimson's extremely taboo works were celebrated for their lack of censorship, there isn't a need to include some of the heavier stuff in this kind of production, even if it is set in the 90s. There's a lot of casual racism, sexism, and homophobia in the book, so be warned if you somehow manage to score a copy. The history of body horror. The term body horror was coined in the 80s when the horror genre reached its cultural peak in America. Its roots in literature go back much further, though. Body horror was born hand in hand with science fiction when Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein at the age of 19. Her contribution to the genre of science fiction is criminally overlooked. People most often credit Jules Verne or Orson Welles to be the founding fathers of science fiction. Body horror is defined as a subgenre of horror that intentionally showcases grotesque or physiologically disturbing violations of the human body. These violations may manifest through aberrant sex, mutations, mutilation, zombification, gratuitous violence, disease, or unnatural movements of the body. The visceral reactions that one has to body horror are instinctual. Artists use this to their advantage to elicit feelings of fear, disgust, or discomfort. People are drawn to this experience for the same reason people enjoy other scary activities like roller coasters or extreme sports. What does the title mean? After watching the series, it may not be instantly obvious why it's called Brand New Cherry Flavor. It may seem like a random and sort of arbitrary title, but it holds deep significance. While it doesn't have a direct meaning that is stated outright, it is reflected in the themes, conflicts, and imagery of the series. Take, for instance, the scene in which Lisa finds herself exploring the hole on her side for the first time, or the one where Mary pops a bloody eyeball into her mouth. The link between the title and these moments is likely accidental, however. Many agree that it is a profound statement about the characters and Hollywood as a whole. The film industry is always looking for the newest, hottest version of last week's big star. To make it, hopefuls must package themselves as the flavor of the week. Brand New Cherry Flavor was one of the most divisive Netflix releases of 2021. Hate it or love it, we think that it has certainly made an impact and earned its place on the ever-growing roster of body horror classics. Let us know how you felt about the series down below, and as always, make sure to show us some love by hitting the like button. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to to subscribe for updates on all the most talked about shows.